Get it.
All right, okay.
Good morning. I want to say welcome back again, but welcome.
Yeah.
Today, welcome back to OOC Medical and with Sharon Friedman from
Life balancing therapist, massage therapist, yoga teacher, and massage therapist. I do it all. And oh my gosh, we started about 15 minutes ago and didn't know it was live, so we're going to pick again. So we're going to start all over.
So today we're going to continue on the conversation about posture, and it's the big question. Sharon, what is posture?
And posture is just the way your bones and muscles relate in a certain position when you're standing up straight. So if, this is posture, and this is posture, this is posture. It's just the way your body is relating in a certain time in an upright position. That's what posture is. And then there's two kind of postures. There's a good posture, and they're habits. They're really habits. There's good postural habits and there's bad postural habits. And when you have good postural habits, you're going to be standing up easier and better. And if you have bad postural habits, things like headaches, backaches, neck, shoulder issues, high blood pressure, breathing problems, indigestion. Believe it or not, all of that is very related to posture. You can get rid of a lot of things or relieve a lot of stuff just by good posture habits. And that means when you're sitting, when you're standing, when you're walking, when you're bending, when anything you do is going to affect your posture. And I just want to do a quick little, I brought a paper here because I want to really get the facts correct, is that a Dr. Roger Sperry, he's a neurophysicist, a neurobiologist, and a Nobel laureate, and he did research on the brain. And he found that better than 90% of the energy that your brain is used for in relating to your body for standing up. So 90% of your brain goes to just keeping you upright against gravitational force, so you don't fall over, you balance, remember? But so the more mechanically distorted your body is, the less energy you have available for thinking, for eating, for digesting, for healing, because your brain also has that too. So think about that, how posture is so, so important. We talked about breathing. But good posture helps good breathing. So it's really posture first before breathing, but I wanted to bring breathing in first because that is a very important thing. They're really, one can't be without the other. Breathing and posture is so important. So I'm going to jump in right here, right now. And because I've given you all the problems that you could have with posture, I'm going to show you how you can improve your posture in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, got 5 minutes? So, Bobby is not wearing socks because he has shoes on, but we really relate to the earth with our feet. And we wear our shoes over and over again, and we have a walk pattern. So when we have shoes on, our feet can't really feel the ground and get out of the walking pattern that our feet have. And this helps change our walking patterns too, is working with the feet on the ground. And just like the basement of your house, without a good basement, without good feet posture, the rest of the body is relating to the feet. So you can't see his feet, sorry about that, but he's going to get back in those 11s that we did last week with when we were talking about standing. And he's going to take his his big toe and connect it energetically to the outer ankle of his foot. Both, you can do one at one time or both the same. You can take your little toe and connect it to the inner ankle of your foot and roll the feet over a little bit toward the outer edges. So lift but keep your toes grounded, okay? So how does that feel already? Do you feel it in your legs already? Your legs are already engaging because all the leg muscles go down to the feet, or the feet come up into the legs, kind of chicken and egg.
And we always talk about, I'm all about natural healing, I'm all about finding ways that we can self-sustain a body and maintain our health. And interesting enough, this that she's sharing is really important for a lot of us because bad posture can come from sitting on a computer. Oh, I think I'm just relaxing, taking a nap.
It can also come from your, if you tend to be a foot person that rolls your foot like that, and the other foot goes like that, that changing of the musculature that should be like that goes all the way up into the hips, all the way up into the spine, all the way up to the neck, and And the thing is, we're changing the brain from bottom up. So, there's a way of changing it with, affirmations and thoughts, top down. When we work with the body is connected to the brain. And so the body is reconfiguring what the body wants and telling the brain what's real, what they want. And then the brain changes and then reinforces what the body's trying to tell it. So, that's why yoga is so amazing, is because it's a bottom-up change instead of and it's also a top-down, because we do some thoughts in yoga also. So his feet are now engaged, and if anybody has a brick, he's going to turn actually just a little bit, like just a tiny turn this way, no, the other way, that way, just a bit more. Okay, so you he's going to put the block in between his knees and his pelvic floor, like mid-thigh. And he's going to walk his feet a little in closer. Really walk so that brick becomes like squeezing juice out of an orange. Or better. And he's going to re-engage his feet. So refine the right the big toe to the outer ankle and the little toe to the inner ankle, and then rolling over, keeping the inner ankle and the big toe engaged, but rolling out to the outer edges. And guess what happens to your arches? How do they feel?
It restores a lot of the natural position of the foot. I'm a groundwork guy as a Podortha, so I always work with the feet and how that affects the body. If arches collapse, it takes the ankles, the knees, the hips, lower back. It's like your building or your house.
Yeah, so
as soon as the building settles, windows will open, right? Doors won't
and
properly.
when your arches drop, your pelvic floor drops. For those women and men who have incontinence, something that deep engaging your feet like that will help engage your pelvic floor and increase pelvic floor engagement, health. But it also engages the spine, because all the muscles as you squeeze the thighs, all the muscles of the pelvis. Oh, I meant to bring my skeleton in. Engages, and then like a tower that's high, they have these guide wires that hold it. Your pelvis muscles engage, and then your spine, you can even feel that. Your spine already feels lifted up. There's no work in it because it's happening down here. A lot of your work in your upper body happens down here, your feet, your thighs, your pelvis muscles.
Does that affect your core?
Yeah, well that is you know what, there's two kind of cores. There's the core where we do, this, but your core is really your skeletal muscles, and they're different muscles. They're slow twitch muscles. They're stability muscles, where these muscles are mobility, right? They move us. These muscles move us. The skeletal muscles keep us standing still and balanced. So we add one more thing. It's like 5 minutes, but I've had to talk, I'm sorry.
This is the extended 5-minute version, guys.
Well, if you do this all at once and don't stop talking. So this is a long yoga belt. I think it's an 8-foot yoga belt. And they have longer ones. But we're going to take the belt and we're going to put it right across the shoulder blades. And he's going to grab them and hold for a second. And then I'm going to take and make sure that it's not twisted and put them over his shoulders. I love this. I do this to my students. We do a whole class with this. And then we're going to cross over the back. So, it's like a cross your heart bra, guys, for women. But it's crossing right across behind the heart. And then he's going to grab that and hold it. And you want it really tight. And then we're going to buckle it. That's why you need a long one. Okay, so notice how he is, if you talk about what good posture is, it's ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip, hip over knee, and knee over ankle. So it's a plumb line. And you're standing pretty tall now, aren't you?
Although I got taller, you got shorter.
Yeah,
But,
really.
Something's going on here.
Yeah, and so there's things that they sell where they put it on here and they say if you start slumping, it'll beep you and tell you to sit back up, and that's great. Okay, it's great. But this apparatus, when he starts to slumping, it's going to pull on his back, and he's going to lose contact here a little bit. Actually, he's going to kind of pull into his armpits a little bit. So then he's going to automatically lift up. So sternum is, the shoulder blades come in together, shoulder blades go down the back, and the xiphoid process and the sternum lift and go up toward the heart, up toward the head. Tailbone goes down, belly button comes in, and pelvic floor comes up. And so you've got this engagement of your whole, that is a nice postural habitual stand. You know, and life happens, we do start to fall, but if we have made these positive, messages in our brain, when we get to a certain point, the brain will go, this doesn't feel good, and it'll pull you back up naturally.
But
because your muscles are primed to do that.
And even the other part about this is that, my breathing feels more natural. I can actually I can feel my chest opening up and actually breathing. So this is really good. I mean, if you're using that little beeping thing, if it's not helping you get back to where you need to be, this is probably less expensive.
Well, it also should probably overcompensate and do this. I see people walking around. I see people walking around like this, and I go, oh my God. And I see people walking around like this. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. I'm going to show you a couple things. And from now on, you're going to notice this, okay? When I first started working with posture, I started really noticing this. Okay, so you're bent over this way, and your eyes want to see the horizon, right? So what happens is you do this. No, wait a second. You do this. Your head goes back like that. Okay? So you got this big kyphotic thing here and the lordosis here instead of that. But when your body gets stuck like this, you see little old men doing it. You see little old men?
I've seen them on canes. I've seen them,
And this is the way they walk around. God, I just feel so bad for them. Go, please come to me. When I have a friend who walks, I don't know why, but she walks. Literally, that's the way she walks around in life. So, I mean, now that I've shown you these different body postures, you're going to see them. You're going to see them. And you're going to go, oh, do I look like that? and again, you can watch this video over and over again. This block and this belt are amazing. And you can use this while you're sitting at a computer. You can, use this while you're doing, if you want to make sure that you're not, this is what I see in gyms.
Right.
Okay? So if you're in gym and you want to make sure that you're not doing this, put the belt on and make sure that your spine is staying aligned and you're not doing this rocking back and rocking back and rocking back. And again, when I'm in gyms, I want to stop people, but
And actually, the straps are really helpful because yes, as we were shifting before, I could feel where it was sitting. And for me, it's all about where I was originally and what I was feeling.
And now turn around, and now he can actually, because he's had it on for about five minutes or so. Now his brain has like an imprint, and he can almost, if he does it a lot, if he does it a lot, with if he does it 5 minutes a day, his brain will get the message, and things will start changing very quickly. The brain is so neuroplastic. That's the neat thing about our brain is that it really doesn't take much to change a brain. 21 days is really nothing. Do 21 days of this, 5 minutes a day.
And think about this. How many people that are now in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s are sitting there going, you know what? I used to be 5'10". I used to be 5'11". Now I'm 5'9". Now I'm 5'8".
And you know the reason why that is?
Posture.
Well, the thing is, again, we are just a bag of bones that are connected to each other. The bones are connected to themselves by little muscles called ligaments. And when the ligaments get tight, then everything gets squished. And you can re-stretch ligaments, but that's the other thing is that ligaments are like ropes. And if you stretch a rope, what happens to a rope?
Your toe threads.
Huh?
Tear threads.
Well, you tear threads, but if you had a rope and it's stretched, can you overstretch? Can you bring that rope back can the rope go back?
They don't restore as well.
No, they don't. They lose their ability to hold because they've been overstretched. So that's what happens in low back, sacrums. We'll talk about that.
So unlike a muscle that you can build and pump and make it stronger, ligaments and tendons don't function the same way. So
Tendons are in between a ligament and a muscle, so tendons have a little more give. But once you overstretch a muscle, a ligament, and those are the ligaments, those are the things that attach. Ligaments are what kind of hold your whole sacrum together. It's just these white, viscous, muscular things. When they get overstretched, then you lose the ability for the integrity of your muscles together. And so you have to start working harder, because I know this from my own problem. You have to work harder to get the other accessory muscles, adjacent muscles, to work more efficiently, and it takes it's a lot of work. And so you never stop having to rehab. My husband had knee surgery, and 3 years later he wasn't doing his knee rehab, and he started complaining his knees hurt, and I said, well, are you still doing your rehab? And he went, no. And he started doing it, and 3 weeks later he goes, oh, my knees feel much better. So I'm telling you, if you've ever had back issues, back surgery, hip surgery, knee surgery, any kind of surgery, and they've given you rehab, you're going to be doing that rehab for the rest of your life. You can't stop, because the ligaments and the things that are the stabilizing muscles of our body have been destroyed almost a little bit, and you have to use the other complementary muscles to take over the job of that. And that's just the way it is. But you were talking about heart health, okay? This is something that astounded me. That this is done on men, but men who had lost 3 centimeters of height were 64 more likely to die from a heart attack than those who had not lost their inches. So the reason being is that when you lose inches, what is holding your heart and your lungs is the rib cage, which is let me have you be your thoracic. So when this gets shortened, the pressure on your lungs to expand and contract get more, and the lungs then are kind of, the heart is pumped by the lungs. As the lungs expand, the heart gets squeezed. As the lungs release, the heart gets released.
And give this a try, guys, because I was just doing this, from posture. Take a breath, punch yourself over kyphotically, and take a breath and see how much less you can actually breathe. I can't open up my lungs. I can't open up my rib cage.
Right.
So I can feel where it's being compressed.
Yeah, and you're bringing a lot of stress to your heart and the cardiovascular system, which also causes stress in the brain. So, it's just so amazing.
You think about what causes fatigue, what causes all these things. Well, if you're bad posture and bad breathing, how much oxygen is actually getting to the body? If you're like panting like my dog does when it gets hot, if I'm doing this, I can tell that I can't really take that deep breath in and open up my chest. So
postures, again, we talk about breath is really important, because if you don't get your organs and your brain oxygenated, then you're going to be having issues with your tissues in that respect. But then, how can you get it? How can you get better breathing? Is by not perfect posture, because that just, that's also stressful on your body to be in a perfect posture. You're going to. This is our life is balance. We go from homeostasis to imbalance to homeostasis, which just means balance in our body, and that's constant fluctuation, and that's just life. Life is just fluctuations, and so your posture is going to fluctuate. So don't go crazy over it, but doing things that help increase posture. And what I was stopped and thought about is that not only exercise is good for posture, but relaxation is good for posture. So yin yoga, where you stop and you stay in these poses supported for 3 minutes, helps let the muscles relax and lengthen and heal. Restorative yoga, meditation, things that are, our society is go, 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 and then, and hot yoga and heavy weights and yes, a balance. When I was studying massage, we did a little section of personal training, and I learned that our life should be a third cardio, a third resistance weights, and a third stretching, relaxing, because our body needs all of that. Our body needs all of that. And so if posture is related to our brain. And if your posture's stressed, your brain's stressed, and other studies have shown that one of the things you can do for stress management, we do medication, we do all these things, food, everything, but the best thing you can do for stress management is have proper balance in your musculature and joint system, which happens to be posture. So there you go. I don't know if anybody out there still out there and has questions, but I think they popped up on there, don't they?
Not on this one. I don't know about this one.
But if you do have questions, we can review it, or you can, contact Bobby. We don't have it on there.
My email address is oscmedical1@gmail.com.
And mine is lifebalancingtherapies@gmail.com. I'd love to answer questions. I love the challenge and also the rewards as a teacher to have somebody come and within 6 weeks see the postural changes, but even more, that kind of quick reward that we all like that instantaneous gratification is after working with a student, a client, whatever, the first class, the first session. I always forget to take a beginning picture and an end picture because they come and their coloring in their face is just not healthy. They look tired. Their body is kind of slumpy. And after one session, one class, it's just shifted. I mean, just enough. I mean, I can see it. Maybe somebody else couldn't.
Right.
But when I take a picture and show people, I go, oh wow, look at the difference. And we don't realize we're walking around stressed out. We just don't realize that we're like the fish swimming in water. Stress is so normal that it's just not obvious until we are able to get out of that fishbowl and feel what it's like to be in dry land or not stressed. And it's the best thing you can do for stress management. Easiest thing you can do. It doesn't cost you anything. Well, it does. The block is $8. The belt is, actually I think they're $5. And the belt is $8. I mean, this can actually change.
This is cheaper than a hospital bill, and the good thing about it is it works directly with the body, and it's actually retraining the body, on restoring it back to its normal position. And granted, for a lot of us, it's going to be a challenge, but the good thing about success, it's perseverance that got us where we are, and it's all about that. And really, we talk about self-care, taking care of ourselves. What can I do to make myself better? And honestly,
that's simple.
This is probably one of the most simple things that you can do. It's been a pleasure sharing health tips with all of you guys. I'd love for you guys to give us some feedback and tell us, if you're feeling a difference. What's the percentage? Has it gotten 5% better? Has it gotten 10% better?
Well, has anybody tried the breathing? I mean,
right.
Even have you done like 5 minutes of breathing, or even a minute of breathing a day, of the structural breathing that we talked about, and thinking about when you are bending down, are you exhaling to bend down? Are you inhaling to come up? Are you inhaling to reach up? Are you exhaling to turn and grab something from behind you? So, stopping and thinking, how are you moving? How are you breathing? Even those simple things can shift and change your neurological system immensely. It doesn't take a lot. We think it takes a lot, but it really doesn't. Simple little things could change
And
your
for all
life.
you people out there dealing with acid reflux and all these things, I urge you to really give this a shot and see how it works. I mean, if honestly it's a simple thing like that can make a difference instead of me having to take a Tums tablet or ingest something else into my body to fix the problem. When honestly it was just me that could have been working on a problem to begin with. I'd say give it a shot and give us a feedback. Let us know these changes. I'm really looking forward to hear what the people have to say on how this is affecting your life. So
Thank you very much. Thank you,
yes,
Bobby.
thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
That was more engagement.
I think so.
I like that.
Okay.